before you touch the power pedestal, you want to make sure that you have no leakage on the pedestal to make sure you don't get shocked. And then once you know you're okay to touch it, go ahead and open it up. And you want to make sure you do have voltage before pulling your RV in. Currently, as you can see, I have no voltage to this pedestal. So once you make sure that you have power at the pedestal, the next step is to make sure you have good voltage if you're not using the surge guard that has full protection. In order to do that, you can use your Southwire multimeter. And in order to test your 30 amp receptacle, you're going to put one of the probes in one of the slotted plugs and the other probe in the other. And you want to make sure they're making contact on the sides of the receptacle. And you can see we have 122 volts at this receptacle. The 15 amp, 20 amp receptacle at your pedestal, it's important that you check to make sure it's wired properly and that the GFCI receptacle is working. In order to do that, you can use our GFCI tester and push the button on the tester, and you see the power has turned off. You can then restore power . Once you've tested the pedestal to make sure there's no leakage at the pedestal, you can go ahead and plug in your surge guard to the power pedestal. Once you plug in your surge guard, turn on the main breaker, and you will see it has a 10-second countdown sequence. During that 10 seconds, we're analyzing to make sure the pedestal is wired properly and you have proper voltage coming to the RV. Once we verify that the power is correct, we will engage the contactor inside the surge guard and power the RV. When using the surge guard 34931 or 34951, one of the great advantages is being able to use your wireless remote display while camping to monitor your voltage, your amp draw, kilowatts used, and frequency. When you're specifically using a 30 amp RV, you need to be aware of what loads you're running so that you do not put too much of a strain on the power supply. Currently on this RV, we are running 22 amps of power demand. If we need to microwave our lunch, we are unable to do that with the current loads. As you will see, we will spike above 30 amps and possibly trip the power pedestal. So before turning on any other loads, we'll want to turn off one of the other loads currently running in the RV before microwaving our lunch. The Surge Guard wireless remote allows you to be able to monitor your power consumption while enjoying your RV lifestyle. So we noticed that our LP detector was not working, and we wanted to check and see what the problem might be. When we came to our load center, we noticed that there's a light on showing a blown fuse. In order to replace the blown fuse, I recommend using the Southwire 7-in-1 multi-tool. Makes it easy to remove that damaged fuse and to put in your replacement fuse. So we noticed our kitchen receptacle is not working, and we needed to see if we have voltage or if it's an appliance issue. And so we're using our Southwire meter in the AC setting, and we're going to test the receptacle to see if we have any voltage. And we're reading 0 volts at the receptacle. So we know we have an issue feeding this receptacle, which it's a GFCI protected receptacle. So we need to look for our GFCI receptacle inside the RV. Alright, so we found our GFCI receptacle, and when we plug in, we notice we have no power. So we're going to go ahead and hit the reset button to see if the GFCI will engage power. GFCI is now powered up, and you can see on your Southwire GFCI receptacle tester that it is wired properly. So we noticed while enjoying the outdoor space while camping that our outdoor lighting isn't working. And so in order to fix that problem, we went to our panel here and we noticed that the on-off switches, while we flash them, we get no result outside of the RV. In order to get to behind the switches and see what the problem might be, we need to remove the screws. Inside RVs, there are a multitude of screws used, and we recommend using the Southwire 12-in-1 multi-bit screwdriver. This allows you to use Phillips, straight blade, and square number 1 and number 2s, which are prevalent in the RVs. Now that I have the screws loose, when I pull back, I see that one of the connectors is off the light switch. So we will go ahead and reconnect that. We will reconnect this wire to the switch using our Southwire 7-in-1 multi-tool. So, trying to do it without